We all have things that we're believing for, dreams that we want to accomplish, problems we're hoping will turn around. Maybe it's to see our family restored, to lose some weight, to break an addiction, to start our own business. But sometimes as it goes on month after month, even year after year, and we don't see anything changing, it's easy to get discouraged and think, it's never going to happen. This is as good as it gets. I'll just learn to live with it. We all go through disappointments, setbacks, loss. Pain is a part of life. It's easy to get discouraged, even bitter. Think, why is this happening to me? Sometimes we look at pieces in our lives that don't make sense. The key is what we do in our times of pain. Pain will change us. Heartache, loss, disappointments, they don't leave us the same. Every painful time, even though you don't like it, it's developing something in you that can only be developed in the tough times. Eventually, that will pass. You'll get through it, but you will be different. In those tough times, when you're uncomfortable, going through a loss, dealing with an illness, you could easily let it overwhelm you. Now, how the pain changes you is up to you. You can come out bitter, or you can come out better. You can come out defeated, giving up on your dreams, or you can come out with a new passion, a new fire, excited about the new opportunities in front of you. I may not like it, but I'm not a whiner, I'm a warrior. I know I can handle this. Don't complain about the pain. Without the pain, we couldn't reach the fullness of our destinies. Sometimes we bring pain on ourselves. We make poor choices, get in a relationship we know is not good, or maybe get over our head in our spending. Now it's painful. We're having to deal with the consequences. All of us experience pain. My challenge, don't just go through it, grow through it. That difficulty is an opportunity to get stronger, to develop character, to gain new confidence. Anybody can give up. Anybody can let it overwhelm you. But you know what that's doing? Wasting your pain. That pain is not there to stop you. It's there to prepare you, to increase you, to develop you. Difficulties are a part of life. Now quit telling yourself you can't take it. You're not weak. You are well able. Eventually the pain will pass. You'll give birth to new strength. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. And there will always be forces trying to convince us to settle where we are. Life has a way of pushing our dreams down. They can become buried under discouragement, buried under past mistakes. There are dreams buried under divorce, buried under low self-esteem. It's easy to settle for mediocrity even though we have all this potential buried on the inside. What are you remembering? The hurt, the pain, what didn't work out? Turn it around and remember your dream. Have you allowed any dreams to get buried in you? At one time, you believed you could do something great. You believed you could lead the company in sales. You believed you could break that addiction. And it's been a long time, had some bad breaks, wasn't all your fault. You could easily settle where you are. Nobody would fault you. The enemy would love to deceive you into burying your dream, thinking that it's never going to work out. Don't believe those lies. It's not too late to become all that you were created to be. Every time you remember your dream, you're removing some dirt. You're digging it back out. The true mark of a champion is even though some dirt gets thrown on your dream, instead of letting it get buried, you keep shaking it off. You keep moving forward. You wouldn't be having that opposition if you didn't have something great in you. If your dream wasn't alive and on track, right on schedule to come to pass, you wouldn't have so many things coming against you. That dream is still alive. You may have tried a year ago, 5 years ago or 40 years ago. Didn't work out? Nobody was there to help you? Go back and try again. This is your time. This is your moment. Your destiny is calling out to you. Can I tell you, your dream is not dead. It's just not in season. Your time is coming. Promotion is coming. Good breaks are coming. Promises you've been standing on. Dreams you've been praying about. Lack is not your destiny. Constantly struggling, barely getting by is not the end of your story. These light afflictions are for a moment. The adversity is temporary. The glory is eternal. There are some dreams shut up in you. Like fire, you're going to feel your destiny calling out. May not have happened the first time. The loan didn't go through. You didn't get chosen for the part. The medical report wasn't good. That's okay. It's still in you. This is your time. This is your moment. Shake off the doubt. Shake off the negativity. You're at the right place. You're at the right time. Now all you've got to do is get in the right frame of mind. Lord, I believe this is my year to get healthy and whole. This is my year to meet the people of my dreams. This is my year to go further in my career, to step into a new level of my destiny. This is my year to accomplish dreams, to break free from this depression. This is my year to meet the right people. This is my year to get healthy and whole. This is your year to see double. This is your year for vindication, for restoration, for new beginnings. Now get your mind going in the right direction.
There is hell, but it is not what you think. It is the experience of the worst possible outcome of your choices, decisions, and creations. It is unfulfillment. It is knowing who and what you are and failing to experience that. It is being less. That is hell. Yet if you knew who you are, that you are the most magnificent, the most remarkable, the most splendid being, but you do not know who you are, and you think you are a great deal less. Whenever you deny yourself, whenever you reject who and what you really are, you yourself create the experience. Create yourself as you truly are, and as you truly wish to be. Yet you could not be that unless you also had a choice to be something else. To be aware of consequences. Consequences are results, natural outcomes. Seek then to create change, not because the thing is wrong, but because it no longer makes an accurate statement of who you are. You are always in the process of creating. Every moment, every minute, every day, you are a big creation machine. And you are turning out a new manifestation literally as fast as you can think. You don't need to have a reason for anything. Just be the cause of your experience. Do what you want to do. Do what reflects you. What represents you as a grander version of yourself. There is nothing you cannot be. There's nothing you cannot do. There's nothing you cannot have. There's only one reason to do anything, as a statement to the universe of who you are. There's also only one reason to undo anything, because it is no longer a statement of who you want to be. It does not reflect you. It does not represent you. That is, it does not represent you. Experience produces concept of self. Conception produces creation. Creation produces experience. So much of your present experience is based on your previous thought. Thought leads to experience, which leads to thought, which leads to experience. This can produce constant joy when the sponsoring thought is joyous. Yet you would have all the freedom, all the joy, all the peace, and all the wisdom, understanding, and power of the spirit you are. You create collectively and individually the life and times you are experiencing. You set the guidelines, and you decide how well you have done, how well you are doing. For you are the one who has decided who and what you really are, and who you want to be. That is what is known as conscious living. You see, you cannot disembark from the journey. You embarked before you were born. Your birth is simply a sign that the journey has begun. You have already started off. You did so with the first beat of your heart. The question is, do I wish to walk this path consciously or unconsciously? With awareness or lack of awareness? As the cause of my experience or as the effect of it? Keep on working toward that. Keep on. Keep on.
We are running out of time. What are you going to do with the time you have left? I say that if you don't reposition yourself, you could miss the best time in your life, in this season of life. Because we have got to change the way we think. We have got to change the way we function. We have got to change the way we deal with issues. And the reason that you have to begin to reposition the way you think and the way you function and the way you feel is that we many times are stuck between the lines of limited thinking and limited people and limited ideas and limited philosophies, and there's something creative down inside of you saying, let there be. You need to walk into a situation where you've been locked up and tied up and tangled up and say, let there be light, let there be healing, let there be books, let there be change in this city. You have tried 4 or 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different things. Each you worked on 90 days or so and then said it doesn't work. How can you be a leader with a 90-day test? Of course it didn't work. You didn't stick to it long enough. You didn't fight hard enough. You didn't do what it took to win, and rather than to correct it and get it right, you walked away from it and tried something else, and for the last 10, 15 years of your life, you've been on the run from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, trying to make all this stuff work. Stop it. Stand still. You have to have the courage to live with the pressure and the criticism. New levels bring new devils. You have to be tough. You have to be tough to be able to stand it. It's tough for keeping your kids encouraged while you secretly worried to death yourself. It's tough for getting ready for a birthday and don't have a birthday gift. It's tough of not being able to get the light bill paid and the water bill paid. It's tough. But what do we do with these moments? Do we just have them and go back home and wait for the next one? Almost like junkies getting a fix or smokers smoking a cigarette? Are we just habitually addicted to moments without being able to take that moment and use it strategically to do something in our lives? You do not have to accept it the way it is. Somewhere down inside of you there is creativity. We've got to break out of the barriers and the limitations and get outside of the box. Something is about to happen in your life. You've got to take it one day at a time. And when you get to the end of the day, you say, I'm not finished, but I've done everything that I was supposed to do for that day, for that time, for that season. Your season is shifting. You will be able to do now in a way that you have never been able to do it before. You haven't sung your best song. You haven't preached your best sermon yet. You haven't thought your greatest thought. You haven't written down your greatest idea. You haven't dreamed your best dream. Baby, you haven't laughed your best laugh. You haven't had your greatest day yet. It's somewhere inside of you. You're a miracle looking for a place to happen. You have got all kinds of things locked up inside of you that are about to come forth for such a time as this. The time is right. The stage is set. The conditions are in order, and something awesome is about to happen in your life. Don't let anybody tell you you're too young. Don't let anybody tell you you're too old. Don't let anybody tell you you're fitted. Every day you wake up in the morning, it's a sign the best is yet to come. This is my moment, and I am determined to live it. The mind is the battleground. The fight is in your mind. Are you ready for the next level? What are you going to do with the time you have left?
If you could become world-class at any skill in the next 6 months, particularly if it's something that you dreamed of and put up on a shelf and gave up on,
what would amazing look like for you? What would amazing look like if you were amazing? If you know what amazing looks like, then why haven't you gotten there yet? I want you to say, the reason I'm not as amazing yet because I hit the snooze button. That's why I'm not amazing right now. The reason why I'm not amazing right now is because I couldn't get up early enough because I told myself I'm not an early person. I don't get on Twitter every blue moon. I don't get on my app every blue moon. The reason why some of you will never be successful because you're not immersed in it. When you wake up in the morning, look at your goals. Your goals gonna tell you what time to get up. Are you hearing me? Your goals gonna tell you who you should be hanging out with. I can't tell you, but your goals gonna tell you how much sleep do you need. You might not need to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning for your goals, but your goals are going to define what time you get up, how you live your life, how you move, when you say yes, when you say no.
Think like the person you intend to become.
I want your dream to be so clear, so vivid, right? That when you wake up in the morning, all you got to do is step in your dream. The difference between people who talk about it and people who do it is one simple word: application. They hear it, and they don't just hear it, they digest it. And when they digest it, boom, they do something with it. If you are alive, I know you ain't reached your best yet, right? You got more. You could do more. You could see more. You could be more. I know that all your energy, all your strength, all your skills, all your capabilities, you're not operating on 1,000%. I know there's still some things you can do, some limits that you could push, some buttons you could push, some opportunities that you haven't explored. And the second thing I know is this: I know that you are not experiencing life to its fullest.
Like life itself is a process of becoming, a part of man's ongoing historical drive to manifest his consciousness outside of his mind, in front of his eyes.
Greatness is when we overcome our own boundaries, when we surprise ourselves.
When mapped out, when we get the long view, when we get the big picture.
That's greatness. Ask not what the world needs, ask instead what makes you come alive, because what the world needs is more people who have come alive. What makes you come alive? What gives you the goosebumps? What gives you the chills? What makes you well up?
Somewhere deep inside, you know what kind of person you were designed to be. Ask yourself, how would the person I'd like to be do the things I'm about to do?
Greatness is upon you, and it's time for you to bring that thing out. There's power in consistency. There's power in doing something over and over and over and over again. There's power in practice. Don't rush the process. Yeah, feel me. Some of y'all trying to rush to 21 days. It takes 21 years to be 21 years old. Don't rush the process. Trust the process. It's a matter of life and death. Yes, it's a job you don't want, but that job is going to propel you and position you for the next job. It's not just a class. It's the rest of your life. Are you hearing me? It's not just working out. It's an extra year on your life. It's not just eating right. It's another 7 years on your life. It's a matter of life and death. And so your life is in your hands. Your dream is in your hand. Your future is in your hands. So what would amazing look like?
When I ask you how many have big goals and dreams, what's some personal goal that you have for someone that you love? The things that the heart can understand and feel that the mind cannot relate to. Whenever there's an argument between your heart and your mind, follow your heart.
What you focus on, you feel. What you feel, you are moved to somehow actuate.
It's not what happens that determines the major part of your future. He said the key is what you do about it.
What is your motive for action? What is it that drives you in your life today, not 10 years ago, or are you running the same pattern? Change is never a matter of ability. It's always a matter of motivation.
If you will start that process of change, do something different the next 90 days than you did the last 90 days. Do something different like the new health disciplines, relationship with your family, whatever it is, doesn't matter how small it is. If you'll start doing different things with the same circumstances, since we cannot change the circumstances, but we can change ourselves. We can change what we do. To have more, you simply have to become more. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills.
If you do what is easy, complain about your situation, your circumstances. If you do what is easy, stand around and be a volunteer victim like everybody else. If you do what is easy, surrender and give up on your dreams, become depressed and bitter and angry. It's much easier to complain about the economy. It's much easier to talk about the recession. It's much easier to come up with excuses. Things may happen around you and things may happen to you, but the only things that really count are the things that happen in you.
You don't let the fear take you over if you've got strong enough reasons.
There's something in you that says that you're not sitting back waiting to see what politicians will do for you. There's something in you that says, I'm not going to focus on the general economy, I'm going to focus on my personal economy. There's something in you that says the most dependable hand in the world is the one at the end of your wrist. There's something in you that says always strive to get on top in life because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. The people that will make it in this life, they look around for the circumstances that they want, and if they can't find them, they create them.
If you identify yourself in a new way and you own that every day, and that becomes the standard of how you live, you'll find the way to make that standard real.
You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. You have something special. You are uncommon. One great American said, I choose not to be a common man. It's my right to be uncommon if I can. I seek opportunity, not security. I don't wish to be a kept citizen, humbled and dulled by having the state look after me. I want to take the calculated risk, to dream and to build, to fail and to succeed. I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence. All of us are self-made, but only the successful will admit it. You have a strong sense of self, that gives your life a sense of purpose. Your life has a sense of purpose, that gives your life a sense of direction. You're saying yes for a bigger life. You're saying, yes, I'm tired of playing small. You're saying, yes, I'm really ready to be empowered to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. There's something that's in you that says, I'm not mentally fit to work for somebody for the rest of my life.
You don't just get a result without some kind of action, without some form of ritual. Ritual meaning actions you do consistently. We live who we believe we are, because that's when the real you shows up. That's when the energy comes alive.
The question is no longer, is it possible for you to have all your dreams become a reality in your lifetime? Because it's not about potential. You got a lot of it. The question is, have you made the decision?
Don't try to change the seed. Don't change the soil. Don't change the sunshine. Don't change the mix of seasons. Let the miracle of everything that's available work for you, and start working on the inside. Work on your philosophy. Work on your attitude. Work on your personality. Work on your language. Work on the gift of communication. Work on all of your abilities. And if you'll start making those personal changes, I'm telling you, everything will change for you.
When you're willing to say yes, when you're willing to move forward. You said to yourself, I'm willing for people to laugh at me. You said to yourself, I'm willing to gut this out. You said to yourself, I'm willing to make this happen. You said to yourself, I'm going to do whatever it takes to build this business. I can do it. If anybody's ever done it at any point in time in history, then what's possible for one, it's possible for me. You saying yes to your life, yes to your dreams, yes to your unfolding future.
First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win.
How you saw yourself was a chain. How you saw your situation is a chain. Your normal is a chain. If you break your normal, if you break your normal, all your life you've been fighting with yourself, pulling against yourself, sabotaging yourself. You could have been there a long time ago. You could have been there a long time ago, but your normal became your warden. It tied your hands and your feet, your creativity and your talent. Every chain that limited you. Some people don't know you're limited because you made it good with that crutch.
It's time to figure out whatever majority is doing, I'm gonna find myself doing the opposite. And the only way to change it is make sure you ain't doing the same thing every day of your life. See, some people listen, but when you really want to change, you must hear. The reason why we keep going backwards is because we're afraid of tomorrow. But we can't get to tomorrow because we must deal with today.
I'm not here to make you feel bad. The one thing about life is that when you feel like, man, I'm missing out, the question is, how do you respond? We're humans. You're going to make mistakes. The question is, do you bounce back from those mistakes? My ability to correct my mistakes is what's important. So it's not about a degree. It's the ability to correct my mistakes.
Don't despise small beginnings.
Because the only reason I'm here, the only reason we're here today is because of our yesterday. Before anything great is really achieved, your comfort zone must be disturbed. You must be able to seat yourself out of the situation that you may have been in. If you can't imagine yourself being out of the hood, you'll keep going back to the hood. So what's the goal? What's the vision?
You envisioned something, you got clear about it, and then you started thinking about all the reasons why you wanted it. You got excited about it. Said, this is what's next for me now. I want this. You may have dreamed about it, thought about it, talked about it. But when you focus on something continuously, something magical happens. You get insights, don't you? You overhear a conversation and you hear something you wouldn't have heard if you didn't have that outcome or goal that you wanted so badly. You decided there's something you wanted so bad that you unleashed all your desire. You became obsessed with it. Not because you hope, because you decide.
In spite of all the things you have been through, and in spite of all the things you have failed to do, and in spite of all the things that were done to you, and in spite of all the people who tried to cancel you out, you will never, ever, ever be the same again.
So no matter what you say to me, no matter what you say I cannot do, no matter what you say I will not do, I must do. I have to do. I am king. I live as king. I walk as king. I will do. I will stand. I will put both of my feet in the ground.
I'm gonna be the best me. I'm gonna do all I can do, even if it risks you hating me. I'm going for it.
No matter what you've ever been through, you had to go through it to get right here.